Texas Tech booster and chairman of the board at Texas Tech University, Cody Campbell, has made a claim that the University of Alabama and University of Auburn just do not have the financial resources from their donors to compete in college football today. And it's showing up in the transfer portal rankings. And he believes that there is a new age of blue bloods that is upon us. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching Adapt and Respond, thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, hit that subscribe button, like this video, answer the question in the comments below. Do you think that Cody Campbell has a point when he says we're entering an age of new blue bloods in college football? Cody Campbell, who is a billionaire and the head booster in charge at Texas Tech, where they flipped their roster in 2025, paying a lot of money to some outstanding players to go to Lubbock, Texas, and try to turn that team into a winner. And that is exactly what they did. They won the Big 12 championship for the first time in school history, and they made the college football playoff for the first time in school history, and they made it as the number 4 seed. Made them one of the 4 best teams in all of college football before Oregon shut them out and sunned them in the college football playoff quarterfinals. This is one of the 7 of 8 teams that took a loss after a 3-week break from playing football. But the more you watch that game, the more it was Oregon outclassed Texas Tech. But for many people, Oregon is a new member to this Blue Blood Academy that Cody Campbell is talking about. And he makes this point by pointing to not the high school football recruiting rankings, but the transfer portal rankings. For some folks, the transfer portal rankings are much more instructive as to how good or bad a team is going to be in this season, because we have seen so much movement and there has never been a higher market for veteran players in college football than there is now. And that market is only going to continue to go up. And if you look at the transfer portal rankings, you can see who's paying a lot of money. As a matter of fact, if you go through the top 3, you're going to go Texas Tech at number 1. You're going to go, Texas Tech at number 1, Indiana at number 2, A&M at number 3, and LSU at number 4. You go a little bit further down there to number 8, you get to Texas. And the way that Campbell put this to Will Kane on his show was, look, it's very clear to me that Alabama and Auburn do not have the deep pocket donors that others do. And he pointed not to Texas Tech, but to Texas. They can't raise money like these others. And in this age of college football, where it is less about the brand recognition and the power to get players from high school to the NFL draft with guaranteed contracts in the second year, it's more, how much can you pay me right here and now that will get you to play in almost anywhere? This is how Darian Mensah ended up at Duke. 2 years, $8 million. And after 1 year, he decided he was done. He had a contract, and he's going to get a little bit more money, we think, to go to Miami. Hasn't come through yet, but we expect it to. Probably going to pay him around the $6.5 million mark. Why do we know that? Because Ty Simpson said that Miami was willing to pay him $6.5 million to go there rather than enter the NFL draft. Miami, who's taking advantage of this particular kind of quarterback, one that could enter the NFL draft, but probably could better serve himself financially and for the future coming back a year. Cam Ward, Carson Beck, trying to do this once again with a guy like Darian Mensah. I rank Miami number 7 in my way too early top 25 because they don't have a quarterback. I realize that that might change very quickly. But as you have seen, some guys renege. Some guys decide they want to commit to transfer to Nebraska and end up at Kentucky, like Kenny Minchey. We see this a lot. But even if they were to get him, would that change my ranking? Probably, but the ranking's out. And the ranking's out without Miami having a starting quarterback. Debate your goldfish. We're not going to redo the top, way too early top 25 today because Darian Mensah committed today. It's a way too early top 25. Also, we got 8 months until we play college football again. But that's beside the point. The point that Campbell is making is that the power in college athletics has shifted to who has the most money or who's willing to spend the most money. What I find interesting about this is most people believe that Indiana was able to flip the program because they have a large NIL fund. I think their NIL fund is sizable, but Kurt Signetti went out of his way on the night that they won the national championship to tell people we don't really have that much. And I really would like people to stop saying that. I think there's every college football coach in America wants you to believe he's poor. He wants you to believe he ain't got no money. He wants you to believe he can't afford to pay no players. Kenny Dillingham at Arizona State. Somebody out there in the Phoenix, Arizona area needs to be able to stroke a $20 million check. Again, he wants you to believe he ain't got this money, but Arizona State also a couple years ago flipped a 3-9 program into a Big 12 championship program, which spurred Texas Tech to go, why can't we do that? If Arizona State can do it, why can't we do it? And you've seen that all the way down the line as the three teams at the top of the transfer portal rankings today made the college football playoff, right? Texas at 8 made the college football playoff. LSU expects to be there in 2026, given that they've signed Sam Leavitt and they are the leader as of right now to sign Jordan Seaton. Where is Alabama on this list? Let's care about Auburn because Auburn ain't made no college football playoff and ain't competed for no SEC championship. So him throwing Auburn under the bus, whatever. Alabama ranks number 45 in the transfer portal rankings. Some of this is because Alabama does put a lot more of its resources into getting guys out of high school and growing them. But also because, the Texas oil money is deep and there is not a lot of oil in the state of Alabama. Also, Texas Tech sits on the Mid-Con, which is the largest oil reserve in the entire country at a time when it feels like the United States is only going to be growing its oil reserve. So we'll see what that does to the market, and we'll see what that does to the price of oil of crude per barrel. But crude's always been pretty good. And if it stays hovering between 80 and 120 bucks, everybody's happy. Everybody makes a little bit of money. If it goes higher than that, most people are not happy. It goes lower than that, a lot of people are not happy. Really is one of the cornerstones of our economy, as we are less enthusiastic about riding a bike or taking a bus, and dare I say it, driving an electric car. I don't want to drive no electric car. I don't think electric cars are cool. I don't want anything looking like a Tesla, especially because it's associated with a dude that I really don't get with. I just don't. But in as far as car makers and people you don't really get with, that's a long list, man. Like if we started going down the line of car makers or fashion designers that got some personal stuff that you just don't like, we would run out of things. Point is, I want loud noises to come out of my machines. I'm not going to keep going down that road. Point to say is, I think that Cody Campbell is on to something when he says that we're going to see more new programs enter into the top 25 and play for the college football playoff national championship. But blue blood is not really a term you get to use for new people. Blue blood is about being around a long time. That's really what it's about, being around, being competitive for a long time. Indiana being a blue blood in college football, no shot. No shot. Can they be good? Sure. They can be very good. They can be very good for a long time. But nobody looks at LSU and calls it a blue blood. Nobody looks at A&M and calls it a blue blood. Nobody really looks at Texas, calls it a blue blood. We could have that discussion louder if we need to, but I think his point remains. If you got the money and you can spend it, you can put together a championship football team today. And guess what people are willing to do? Spend their money to win championships.